Soothing the anxious mind. You ever had anxiety so bad you can feel it in your stomach? It's literally kicking you in the face. And then you try and go on a walk to forget about it, but that doesn't work. You want to shower, but that doesn't work. Back on the walk again. Nothing is settled and everything is just kind of everywhere. Anxiety, anxiousness, Self-care, I know, that has to work. We hear about it everywhere. Self-care, that would definitely make me feel less anxious, right? I've been trying to get out more whenever I do feel anxious. I have a tendency to kind of not be in the present, where my body is there but my mind isn't. But for some reason, this doesn't always seem to work. Sometimes cooking is a good distraction because I just focus on the taste buds and how happy they're going to feel soon. But then other days I'm sat on the floor with my Evian water, pouring it into my wine glass and listening to ChiNwabuoku, trying to forget everything and pretend everything's great. But recently I picked up this book called The Power of Now, A Guide to Spiritual Enlightenment. And usually reading doesn't necessarily do much because I just see it as words, but it's really started to change the way I view emotion. One thing I'm trying to remind myself of now is that anxiety is a normal emotion and I can't just try and get rid of it. Here I'm talking to one of my friends explaining the amazing day I had when 10 minutes before I was feeling hella anxious. That doesn't mean the anxiety is necessarily bad, it's just part of the human experience. It's part of my experience, I suppose. Anxiety is a word that gets thrown around a lot nowadays. We hear people constantly talking about this makes me anxious, oh my gosh, my anxiety. But it's so different for everyone and anxiety can never be the same for two people. For some people, worrying serves a purpose, but for me it's just annoying. Biting my nails when I'm anxious? Gross. One cognitive behavioural therapy approach is categorising your worries into practical and hypothetical. With the hypothetical worries, it teaches you to let them go. Easier said than done, but it helps. With the practical worries, the idea is to problem solve. So sit down and start thinking about what worries you have that have some kind of practical solution and see if there's any ways that you think you can actually think of and help bridge the solution. But sometimes I get to a point where I'm like, my worry is both practical and hypothetical. So in that situation, I get a bit stuck at times. But the important thing to remember is that for a lot of things, maybe not everything, but for some things, you actually are way more in control than you think you are. And at least trying to manage these worries is better than doing nothing at all. So in the meantime, I stay focused on things I enjoy, like my salmon pasta, and keep flicking through books that give me some form of comfort when I feel like I need it. Try and actually spend time with friends now that our 3-month-old lockdown is finally starting to ease and remember what life is really about. But continue to keep reading and, fill my mind with things that I feel like actually helps my well-being and my mental state. Treating myself to food that I wouldn't normally get because I'm always preoccupied on wanting to save money.
And brown stew chicken and it smells so good.
And just being myself and, taking life one step as it comes. Soothing the anxious mind is not just one thing or two things that we can do. There's a lot of things we can do to soothe a mind that's prone to overthinking. But the main thing is just finding what works for you.